Good morning, dear cadets. So, yesterday I have introduced you carbohydrate means biomolecules. Okay. So, in biomolecules there are so many examples. Examples like carbohydrate is one of the member. Then proteins are there. Then amino acids are there. So many things are there. So, in carbohydrate yesterday I have classified. So, how many category of carbohydrates are there? Basically, three category, that is monosaccharides, oligosaccharide, under oligosaccharides, disaccharide, trisaccharide, then tetrasaccharide, and third one is the polysaccharides. So, polysaccharide basically they are the biopolymers, starch, glycogen, cellulose. Okay. Today we will study detail things about the monosaccharides. So monosaccharide basically they are the simplest hydrocarbon, carbohydrate. Simplest carbohydrate. What are the example? Glucose, fructose, galactose. These are the monosaccharides, and they cannot be further hydrolyzed. Okay. And not only this one, they are the basic building blocks of oligosaccharides and polysaccharides. Means polysaccharides they are made up of monosaccharides. Similarly, oligosaccharide is also made up of monosaccharide. So what we can say, monosaccharides are the basic building blocks of oligosaccharides and polysaccharides. That is why they are the simplest carbohydrate. Okay. As far as the classification of monosaccharides are concerned, on the basis of functional group. What is the definition of carbohydrate? Polyhydroxyaldehyde or polyhydroxyketone. Optically active polyhydroxyaldehyde and polyhydroxyketone. Optically active means chiral carbon atom is also there. That is why they are optically active. Afterwards, what is there? Polyhydroxy and aldehyde. And polyhydroxyketone means what is there? Monosaccharide can be classified into two categories, aldoses and ketoses. What are the aldoses? Aldoses are the monosaccharide which contains CHO group at carbon number 1. You know that aldehyde group always comes at carbon first if COOH group is absent. Okay. With respect to the COOH group, aldehyde is coming at 2 number, otherwise always it is first. Okay. So meaning of aldoses means aldehydic functional group. Ketoses means monosaccharide containing keto group. Okay. And ketonic group always comes at a second carbon atom. Second carbon atom means it may be at 3 number carbon atom only, but it will never be 2 means first carbon atom. Are you getting my point or not? Ketonic group never comes at carbon number first. Okay. Except cyclic ketone. In cyclic ketone, it may be the number 1 carbon atom. So monosaccharides are two category, aldoses and ketoses. Okay. Now, if we classify aldoses, so one more thing will come. What is there? Aldoses we are giving due respect to the aldehydic functional group. What about carbon number? So just that is why with aldose will add the number of carbon atom, like aldotrioses. It means carbon number 3. Total number of carbon atom is 3. Aldotetroses means 4 carbon atom is there. Aldopentose means aldehydic group plus 5 carbon atom. Aldohexoses means aldehydic group is there plus 5 carbon atom is there. Means in total 5 carbon atom is present. And hexoses means total 6 carbon atom is present. Okay. So aldotriose, just see, the first example is glyceraldehyde. What is the molecular formula? C3H6O3. What is the aldotetroses example? Erythrose. C4, just see, the total number of carbon atom is 4 only. C4H8O4. Aldopentose, ribose, C5H10O5. Now aldohexoses means aldehyde group plus 6 carbon atom is there. Glucose, galactose, mannose. Their molecular formula is C6H12O6. Same way ketoses. Ketose means ketonic group. Ketotriose means along with the ketonic group 3 carbon atom is there. Okay, means in 3 carbon atom the ketonic carbon atom is also included. Same way here also. If 5 carbon atom is there in aldoses, it means aldehydic carbon atom is also included. Ketotetrosis means molecular formula wise they are same only, but individual member will be different. Like ketotriose, this is dihydroxyacetone. Dihydroxyacetone. But molecular formula of this one C3H6O3 and glyceraldehyde C3H6O3, that is similar. Okay, so please be remember this one also. Now I am deleting this side. What about this one C4H8? Here erythrose, and here member would be just a minute, erythrulose. Erythrulose. Okay, next one is ketopentose. Ketopentose means ribulose. Okay, and ketohexose means fructose. One example. Okay, fructose, no problem. So just see, just like aldohexose is glucose is the aldohexose, fructose is ketohexose. Okay, means number of carbon atom is same only. I hope that you understood this one. If I am telling aldohexose means aldehydic group is there, along with aldehydic group 6 carbon atom. If I am telling ketohexose, it means ketonic group is there, along with the ketonic group 6 carbon atom is there. So this is the example. Now one by one we can write their structure. Suppose I am writing this one, glyceraldehyde. So first what should be written? CHO, CH double bond O, and here what is there? CHOH, and at the last what is there? CH2OH. Okay, just you can check. This is glyceraldehyde. What is this one? Glyceraldehyde. Okay, now same way we can make this one also, dihydroxyacetone. So just to see, dihydroxyacetone means CH2, you should write like that, H and OH. Here what is there? C double bond O, and here what is there? CH2OH. This is dihydroxyacetone. Okay, so just you can check the difference. Here at carbon number first, 1 2 3, at carbon number first aldehydic group is there, and here at carbon number 2, 1 2 3 ketonic group is there. So just see, both are having 3 carbon atom only, but this will glyceraldehyde will come as aldotrioses. And what about this one? This is aldoketosis. Okay, ketotriose. This is ketotriosis. Okay, this is there. Same way we can write for this one, erythrose, and for erythrulose, similarly for ribulose, similarly for glucose, galactose, mannose, and for fructose also. So just see, writing structural formula of erythrose and erythrulose will not yield any purpose. It is better to concentrate on glucose, galactose, mannose, and here fructose. So let us see their structural formula also. So I am rubbing this side and writing that one. Try to understand. Since all three, glucose, galactose and mannose, they have got the same molecular formula, that is C6H12O6. Okay, but what makes them to differ with each other, that should be discussed. So just see, glucose. Okay, just see, glucose means here write C6 glucose, okay. Here write galactose, and here write mannose, that is C6H12O6. Here also write C6H12O6. Here also write C6H12O6. Okay. Now just see the molecular formula. C6. So first you write C 1 2 3 4 5, and this is 6 one. Okay. Now just see, all are having this is aldohexose, means aldehyde group is there. So here what would be there? CH double bond O. Here CHOH, polyhydroxyaldehyde. Now just see, at 3 number carbon atom, OH is at left hand side and H is this side. Now here H, here OH, here H, here OH. What about this one? This is H, here also H, and here OH. Okay, you can write this one CH2OH also, no problem at all. Just see. Galactose. In galactose, what would be there? Just see. See, everywhere this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, correct? So at carbon number 3, rest every places if you see, OH is in right hand side and H is in left hand side, except carbon number 3rd. At carbon number 3rd, what is there? OH is in left hand side and H is in right hand side, unlike other carbon atom. Just you should remember this one. Okay. What about galactose? Just see. In galactose also, first you should write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, correct? Now at first carbon atom, what is there? Aldehyde group. Now second carbon atom, as usual, HOH. In third carbon atom, OH and here H. And fourth carbon atom also, OH is in left hand side and H is in right hand side. Now rest here H and OH, and here what is there? CH2OH. So just see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So here just see 3 and 4 carbon atom, they are having almost similar configuration. At carbon number 3, in glucose, what is there? Configuration is different at carbon number 3. In galactose, configuration is differing at carbon number 3 and 4. What about this one? Mannose, this one. Just see. At mannose, what would be there? 2 number and 3 number. Just see. 2 number and 3. This is C double bond O and H. Here what is there? COH and H. Here what is there? OH and H. Here CHOH. 4. This is 5. CH and OH. And at the end CH2OH. Okay. So just see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So just see here at carbon number 2 and 3. So just see, now picture is clear here. Rest means just compare. At carbon number 3 in glucose, configuration is different. Why? OH is in left hand side, H is in right hand side. Rest all carbon atom, what is there? OH is in right hand side and H is in left hand side. In galactose, what is there? At carbon number 3 and 4. In glucose, only at carbon number 3. But in galactose, at carbon number 3 and 4. What about mannose? At carbon number 2 and 3. Difference in the configuration is there. Okay, that is the difference. In this way, we can identify glucose, galactose, mannose, because their molecular formula is same. Not only molecular formula, they all are containing the same functional group, that is aldehydic functional group. Okay, so that is the difference. Means we can identify them by analyzing their configuration. What about fructose? Just see, fructose belongs to the ketohexose. So just try to understand in ketohexose what is happening. Just see, fructose. Okay, just see here also what is the total number of carbon atom? 6 only. So write 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Correct? No problem at all. This is fructose. What is this one? Fructose. Now just see, this is ketohexose, and ketonic group never comes at carbon number first. It comes at carbon number 2. So C double bond O, and here what would be there? Just see, HOH. Okay, and here what is there? H and OH. Okay, just see, in fructose what is happening? Just try to understand. In fructose, not only functional group is different, one more thing is differing with the glucose. What is that one? Just see, will tell you. See, 3 number carbon atom, OH is, just see, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Just see, here OH, here H, here what is there? H, here OH, and at the end CH2OH is there. Okay, so just see, what is the difference between glucose and fructose? Just see, as far as the configuration is concerned, at carbon number 3 of glucose, OH is in left hand side, H is in right hand side. Here also at carbon number 3, OH is in left hand side and H is in right hand side. Means at carbon number 3, configuration wise glucose and fructose is similar, but who is making the difference? In glucose, functional group is aldehyde, but here functional group is ketonic. So that is the difference between glucose and fructose. Okay, there is one more thing. Just see, when you will write their name, what you will write? You will write like that, D. Okay, then you will write minus, then here you will write fructose. Correct or not? What about glucose? How you will write glucose? Glucose name you will write like that. Just see, D, then plus, and you will write here glucose. Okay, so how? Just see, what I want to tell you, D, what is the meaning of D? What is the meaning of minus? Similarly, what is the meaning of D plus and here? Okay, so just see, D is nothing to do with the dextrorotatory. Okay, this minus sign is representing the optical activity, because in the definition of monosaccharide, or you can say carbohydrate, what is written? Optically active polyhydroxyaldehyde or polyhydroxyketone. Okay, so optically active means what is there? Optical activity is there. Optical activity means chirality is there. Okay, means chiral carbon atom is there. So just see, fructose is levorotatory, that is why here minus sign is come, and glucose is dextrorotatory, that is why plus sign is there. So plus and minus, they represent the optical activity. But what about capital D? Will tell you that one also. First let me rub this one. So now DL configuration I have to tell. DL configuration. Okay, now I have to teach DLL configuration. D and L configuration. Remember here. Okay, what is the name of this compound? Glyceraldehyde. What is this one? Glyceraldehyde. What is this one? This is also glyceraldehyde only, but you can see visible change in the structure of these two molecules. Just see here, OH, this is 1 2 3. At 2 carbon atom, OH is towards right hand side, but same carbon atom, OH is in left hand side. So if OH is in right hand side, this is known as D-glyceraldehyde. Okay, D-glyceraldehyde. And now capital D is nothing to do with the optical activity. This positive sign is indicating that D-glyceraldehyde is dextrorotatory. Okay. Now if OH at 2 carbon atom is in left hand side, that is known as capital L glyceraldehyde, and fortunately or coincidentally this L is laborotatory. So this negative sign is telling about the laborotatory nature. Otherwise positive and negative is nothing to do with the capital D and capital L. Okay. So what is the meaning of capital D? If glyceraldehyde's OH is in right hand side. What is the meaning of capital L glyceraldehyde? If OH is in left hand side. Now try to understand. We are writing D glucose and D fructose, correct? Why we are writing capital D fructose, capital D glucose? Just see. This glucose last chiral carbon atom, or you can say last but one carbon atom configuration should be compared with D and L. Okay. Once again listen. Glucose and fructose last chiral carbon atom. Last chiral carbon atom. Which is the last chiral carbon atom? 5th number carbon atom is. So last chiral carbon atom, or you can say last but one carbon atom configuration should be compared with D and L glyceraldehyde. If it belongs to the D glyceraldehyde, means D and L glyceraldehyde, they are the parameters, they are the standard, and on the basis of their configuration, rest monosaccharide configuration will be determined or will be decided. Okay. So if at carbon number 5 configuration match with the D glyceraldehyde, so that should be written D glucose or D fructose. If they match with L glyceraldehyde, so they will be written as L glucose or L fructose. Fortunately, glucose and fructose both belongs to the D-glyceraldehyde category. Okay. Now amino acids, they belongs to the L-glyceraldehyde category. So when I will teach you the protein and amino acid, that time I will tell you. Okay. Almost monosaccharides, they belongs to the D-glyceraldehyde category. Now here what I wrote positive sign, and here I wrote negative sign. What is the meaning of this one? Fructose is laborotatory, that is by negative sign. Glucose is dextrorotatory, that is by positive sign. So once again, capital D, capital L, they indicates the configuration at specific chiral carbon atom with respect to D and L glyceraldehyde. Once again listen. Capital D, capital L, they indicates the specific configuration at a particular chiral carbon atom with respect to D and L glyceraldehyde. Okay. Once again listen. Means last chiral carbon atom of glucose and fructose. Not only glucose and fructose, galactose also, mannose also, they should be compared. Last chiral carbon atom absolute configuration should be compared with, should be matched with D glyceraldehyde and L glyceraldehyde. So if those configuration belongs to the D glyceraldehyde, so D word would be written before their name. Okay. And fortunately glucose and fructose last but one carbon atom, means carbon number 5th configuration belongs to this D glyceraldehyde. That is why D glucose and D fructose is written. And here I wrote D and L, capital D, capital L, nothing to do with the optical activity, dextrorotatory and laborotatory. They only indicates the configuration. They only indicates the configuration of atom or group of atom at specific chiral carbon atom. At specific chiral carbon atom is 5th number carbon atom. Okay. Now D are positive, L are small d, small l. Okay, they indicate the optical activity. D are positive means dextrorotatory, small l are negative means laborotatory. Okay, this is there. Now we are talking about asymmetric carbon atom or chirality. So I have to show you where chirality is there in the glucose. Just Just try to understand. Okay, just see. Presence of asymmetric carbon atom or chiral carbon atom. Okay, so this is D positive glucose. Just see in NCERT book, after positive sign like that it is written. Here also it is written. So don't worry, this is slash only. Nothing to do with the dextrorotatory or levorotatory. Okay, D positive slash then glucose is there. Okay, like that I have seen just now in the book. So don't get confused. Okay, nothing to do with the other thing. Okay, not only this one, here before bracket here also it is like that. Okay, here also it is like that. So this is negative sign which is inside bracket, that indicate the levorotatory, and this positive sign which is inside the bracket that indicates dextrorotation. Okay, now just see asymmetric carbon. What is the meaning of asymmetric carbon atom or chiral carbon atom? The carbon atom whose all the 4 valency is fulfilled by different atoms or group of atom. So see, in glucose carbon number 1 cannot be the chiral carbon atom. Why? Because C double bond O is there. Its 2 valency is fulfilled by oxygen atom only. So this can't be the chiral carbon atom. Same is the case with carbon number 6. Its CH2 means 2 valency is fulfilled by the same atom, that is hydrogen. So this can't be the chiral carbon atom. Okay, what about 2, 3, 4, 5? They are the chiral center or they are the asymmetric center. How? Just see. Carbon number 2, its 1 valency is fulfilled by OH, another by second one by CHO, third one by H, and fourth one by this entire group. This entire group. Are you getting my point or not? Now let us come back to 3. 3, 1 valency is fulfilled by H, another is fulfilled by OH, third one is fulfilled by this entire group. Okay, and fourth one is fulfilled by this entire group. Okay, now fourth carbon atom, 1 by OH, another by H, third one by this entire group. Okay, and fourth one by this entire group. For fifth carbon atom, 1 by this group, another by OH, third by this one H, and fourth by this entire group. Okay, I hope that you are getting this one. Okay, so what is the total number of carbon atom? In glucose, carbon number 2, 3, 4, 5, they are the chiral carbon atom. Now same is the case with fructose also. Just see, this can't be chiral carbon atom. This can't be the chiral carbon atom. Okay, but this one, just see, it's 1 valency by H, another valency by this group. Okay, or you can say by this group. Okay, 2, third by this one, fourth by this group. Okay, now what about this carbon atom? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just see, 4 carbon atom, 1 valency by OH, another by H, now third by this entire group, third by this entire group. Okay, are you getting my point or not? Or CHOH also you can write. Okay, and what about fifth carbon atom? Fifth carbon atom, fourth carbon atom, 1 by OH, other by H, and the rest by this entire group, CHOH. CHOH. What about this one? What about fifth carbon atom? H, OH, CH2OH, and fourth by this one, CHOH. So what is the total number of asymmetric carbon atom in fructose? 1, 2, 3 means carbon number 3, carbon number 4, carbon number 5. So here total 3 chiral center is there. Carbon, here you can write at carbon 3, carbon 4, carbon 5. What about this one? Here carbon, in case of glucose, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4, carbon 5. They are the chiral carbon atom. Chiral carbon atom. Okay, and this is chiral carbon atom of fructose. Chiral center. Okay, did you get my point or not? Yes. So in this way we can do this one. Consider them consider them as a one group, CHOH, here CHOH, for this carbon atom HOH, and this one as a one group. For this carbon atom like that, OH, one group is this one. I hope that you can understand. Okay, yes. So this is the asymmetric carbon atom. In glucose, what is the total number of chiral carbon atom? 4. In fructose, what is the total number of chiral carbon atom? 3. Carbon number 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay, so now methods of preparation of glucose. We will study glucose and fructose in detail. Okay, so just see, glucose is known as grape sugar also, because it is mostly found in the ripened grapes. 20% it is present in ripened grapes. Okay, in addition to this one, they are found in the sweet fruits, honey also. It occurs in free and combined state, both. In combined state, basically it is found in starch and other polysaccharide, cellulose. Okay, so in combined state it is found in cellulose and starch. Probably it is the most abundant compound on earth. Okay, now as far as the methods of preparation is concerned, we can prepare it from two ways. From cane sugar. Okay, cane sugar, hydrolysis of cane sugar in presence of acid. So when cane sugar is boiled with water in presence of acid, what is this one? C12H22O11. This is cane sugar. So it will hydrolyze into 1 molecules of glucose, 1 molecules of fructose. What does this indicate? It indicates that this cane sugar or sucrose is made up of 2 monosaccharide. One is glucose, other one is fructose. Okay, another one by hydrolysis of starch. So when starch is boiled with water in presence of dilute H2SO4 at 393 Kelvin under pressure, then what would be there? What would be there? You will get the glucose. What does it indicate? It indicates that starch is made up of glucose only. Okay, that is why upon hydrolysis it is giving glucose. What is the general formula of starch? C6H10O5 whole N. Okay, and this is polysaccharide. So many large number of glucose monosaccharide units are present in the structure of this one starch. Same is the case with glycogen. Same is the case with cellulose. So polysaccharides, they are made up of monosaccharides, and hydrolysis, this is the evidence that they are made up of monosaccharide unit. Monosaccharide unit may be same, may be different. Like in cane sugar, it is different. One is glucose, other is fructose. But in case of starch, it is glucose only. Okay, in cellulose also, in the subsequent topics we'll discuss all those things. Okay, now let us move towards the structure. That is the most important point. Okay, so now see the structure of glucose. So glucose is also known as dextrose. What is this one? Dextrose. Okay, dextron. Okay, so just try to understand. Dextrose is the sugar which is found in the grapes. That is why it is known as dextrose. Okay, now try to understand the molecular formula of glucose has been assigned to it by scientists C6H12 and O6, and the structure they assigned this one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This can be written like that also. Just see how many CHOH group is there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So rather than writing CHOH whole 4, and this one is CH2OH at the end. Okay, and at first carbon atom aldehyde group is there. So if you see the structure of glucose, you will come to know that how many things we have to justify. Number one thing we have to justify that in glucose 6 carbon atom is there and all the 6 carbon atom is arranged in the straight chain. Arranged in the straight chain means C, 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 C. Okay. So how you will justify this one? The reaction of glucose with HI. Okay. Why I wrote separately this one? Because in MCQ they may ask how you will justify the presence of carbon-carbon straight chain in glucose. So you should remember that when glucose react with HI and N-hexane is formed, and formation of N-hexane indicate the presence of carbon-carbon straight chain in glucose. So that you should remember. So the first thing we have to justify straight chain of carbon and carbon. Second one thing we have to justify the presence of 5 OH group in glucose molecules. So 5 are there, 4 this one and 5th one is this one. How you will justify the presence of 5 OH group? When glucose react with CH3 C double bond O. What is the name of this one? Acetic anhydride. Acetic anhydride. Okay. So when glucose react with acetic anhydride, so what is there? Glucose pentaacetate is formed, and glucose pentaacetate which is forming there, that is a stable compound. So what does it indicate? It indicates that OH group, not only it indicates the presence of 5 OH group, it indicates that OH group in glucose, they are not bonded with single carbon atom, they are bonded with different carbon atom. Otherwise what would be there? Just see, in the chemistry there is a rule. What is that one? If same carbon atom contains OH group more than one time, means suppose if one carbon atom that contains OH 2 times, so after some time one molecules of water will be eliminated or will be removed. Okay, will be evolved. Okay, so here what is there? Glucose is a stable compound or not? So stable compound means no carbon atom of glucose containing 2 OH group. Each carbon atom of glucose contains single OH only, means all OH is bonded with carbon singly, or all OH is present with different carbon atom. Okay, so the presence of 5 OH group at different carbon atom, that also can be justified when glucose react with acetic anhydride. Presence of CHO group. What is the characteristics reaction of aldehydic and ketonic group? Their reaction with hydroxylamine, their reaction with HCN. Now aldehydes and ketone, they give so many addition reaction. Why they give so many addition reaction? They give addition reaction with HCN, they give addition reaction with hydroxylamine, they give addition reaction with 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazine, they give addition reaction with sodium hydrogen sulfide or sodium bisulfide. So these are the characteristics reaction of aldehydes and ketone. So the presence of CHO group, this is CHO group is present here or not? How you will justify the presence of CHO group? The presence of CHO group can be justified when glucose react with HCN and hydroxylamine, that is NH2OH. So addition product should be formed and it is forming. So those reaction will indicate the presence of CHO group. One more thing is there. As far as aldehydes and ketones are concerned, both are known as carbonyl compound. Means in glucose also, fructose also, carbonyl group is there. So how you will justify the presence of, in this case you have justified the presence of CHO group. Now here you have to, actually presence of carbonyl group should be justified before this one, before presence of CHO group. So how you will, okay, that doesn't matter. Presence of carbonyl group, how you will justify? Their reaction with mild oxidizing agent like Br2H2O. Okay, so try to understand. CHO group, aldehyde can be oxidized easily with the help of mild oxidizing agent. When I taught you the difference between oxidation of aldehydes and ketone, that time only I taught you aldehyde can be oxidized with the help of mild oxidizing agent, but ketone can be oxidized with the help of strong oxidizing agent. So this is glucose is getting oxidized in presence of mild oxidizing agent like Br2H2O. So this indicates that carbonyl group is present in glucose is in the form of aldehyde group. Okay, like in aldehyde, just see, aldehyde C double bond O is there, this is carbonyl group. In case of ketone, remaining 2 valency of this carbonyl carbon is fulfilled by R group, but in case of aldehyde, what is there, 1 valency is fulfilled by R, other is fulfilled by H. But CO group is common in aldehyde and ketone. What is the difference? In ketone, both the remaining valency of this carbonyl carbon is fulfilled by alkyl group, but in case of aldehyde, 1 valency by alkyl group, other valency by H group. Okay, no problem at all. So the presence of carbonyl group can also be justified. Next one is presence of 4 secondary alcoholic group and 1 primary alcoholic group. Just see, if you see this one, CHOH, what is the functional group of 2 degree alcohol? 2 degree alcohol is this one, CHOH, correct or not? CHOH, this is 1 2 3, you can, yes, CHOH, this is 2 degree alcohol. What is 1 degree alcohol? CH2OH, this is functional group of 1 degree alcohol, correct or not? What about 3 degree alcohol? 3 degree alcohol is C, C and OH. This is 3 degree alcohol. So in glucose, what is there? How many CHOH? 2 degree alcohol is there, 4 CHOH. And primary alcohol CH2OH, this is CH2OH, primary alcoholic group. This is 1 is there. How you will justify the presence of 4 secondary alcoholic group and 1 primary alcoholic group? Justified with oxidation of concentrate HNO3. Justified with oxidation of concentrate HNO3. Okay, so just see, glucose should be subjected for oxidation with concentrate HNO3. So what, just see, try to understand. As compared to Br2/H2O, means aqueous bromine, HNO3 is a strong oxidizing agent. So just see, out of 1 degree, 2 degree and 3 degree alcohol, which will be oxidized easily? 1 degree alcohol easily oxidized, 2 degree alcohol oxidized with difficulty. So try to understand, with the Br2 and H2O, who is getting oxidized? CHO is getting oxidized. Okay, so Br2H2O, that is weak oxidizing agent, but nevertheless CHO group is getting oxidized. So when it will be subjected for oxidation with HNO3, so along with the CHO, only primary alcoholic group will be oxidized. Secondary alcoholic group will not be oxidized. Why? Because HNO3 cannot, concentrate HNO3 cannot oxidize secondary alcoholic group. It can oxidize only primary alcoholic group along with aldehyde group. HNO3 can oxidize aldehyde group and primary alcoholic group, but it cannot oxidize secondary alcoholic group. Br2H2O can oxidize only aldehyde group. They cannot oxidize the primary alcoholic group. Okay, HNO3 is stronger than Br2H2O. So their reaction should be there. This is theoretical aspect. We should remember this one. How can we justify the presence of 5OH group? How can we justify the presence of aldehyde group? So this is the theoretical aspect. Now their reaction should be there. Okay, so just see here. Now chemical reaction. The chemical reaction related with the first justification. Presence of carbon-carbon straight chain. So when glucose react with HI, what is formed? N-hexane. This indicates that all the 6 carbon atom of glucose is arranged in carbon-carbon straight chain. Presence of 5OH group. This is glucose or not? CHO, CHOH whole 4, CH2OH. Their reaction with acetic anhydride. What is the acetic anhydride formula is written here. What I did, in NCERT book they have taken 5 molecules at a time. I took here 4 and 5th one is here. Why I took like that? Because 4 will react with this one and 5th one will react with the primary alcoholic group, that is CH2OH. Okay, So just see how the reaction would be there. Just one H of primary and secondary alcoholic group will react with half of the molecule. Just see CH3COO, okay, and H. So here 5 molecules of acetic acid will come out, and what will be formed? Glucose pentaacetate. So this reaction indicates that in glucose 5OH group is present. Okay, one thing. Second one thing, just see, presence of 2OH group at same carbon atom makes the compound unstable. Since glucose is a stable compound, it means all the 5OH present in glucose is bonded with different carbon atom. Otherwise, it would have been unstable. Okay, so this is also justified. Means reaction with the glucose pentaacetate means reaction with the acetic anhydride. This is also justified. Okay. Now the presence of CHO group, presence of carbonyl, and presence of 4 secondary and 1 primary alcoholic group will justify. Please remember, when glucose react with acetic anhydride, glucose pentaacetate is formed. What is formed? Glucose pentaacetate. This is acetic anhydride. Remember, acetic anhydride means what is there? RC double bond O, OC double bond O. This is general formula, and you can break in this way only. Just see, one side 2O and RC means one side 2 oxygen, other side 1 oxygen and RCO. So here one side what would be there? RCOO, and this side what would be there? RCO. Correct or not? RCOO, RCO. Okay, in this way. And the group towards 2 oxygen is there. Just give the H of this one, glucose. It is easy reaction. Just you study, very easily you can do. So the side where 2O is there, give H. Okay, and remaining as such you attach. Just see here, remaining everything is attached here only. Just see, CHO. So this is CHO. Now after the removal of this one, what is left? C double bond O and CH3. Same is the case here also. H and CH3 COO has come out in the form of acetic acid. What is left? CH2O, C double bond O, CH3. So this is glucose pentaacetate. Okay, and formation of glucose pentaacetate indicate the presence of 5OH group in glucose. Okay, so just see how you will justify the presence of CHO group in glucose. So just first write, this is the formula of glucose. Okay, their reaction with HCN. So what would be there? First shift this bond. So HC single bond O. Now one valency of this carbon atom and one valency of oxygen is left free. This is negative, this is positive. So the negative part of this one will be attached with this carbon atom. So here Cn and here H. Okay, now rest everything remains intact. CHOH, and here what is there? CH2OH. What is the name of this one? Glucose cyanohydrin. Okay, reaction of SCN and hydroxylamine with glucose, that is only the reaction of CHO group, because these are the characteristics reaction of aldehydic and ketonic group. Rest alcoholic group will remain intact. Same is the case with here. This is glucose. What is this one? Glucose. Here hydroxylamine, just setting 1 molecules of water minus H2O. So here what is there? CH double bond NOH. CH double bond NOH. And here what is there? CHOH whole 4. And here what is there? CH2OH. What is the name of this one? Glucose oxime. Glucose oxime. This is the product. Okay. This also indicates the presence of CHO group in glucose, because hydroxylamine only react with aldehydes and ketonic group. Now the presence of carbonyl group in the form of aldehydic group, how you will justify? Their reaction with glucose reaction with Br2 water. Okay, Br2 water is the oxidizing agent. How can you say that Br2 water is means aqueous solution of bromine is oxidizing in nature? Just see, when Br2 react with water, it form HBr and HBrO. Okay, hypobromous acid. Okay, hypobromous acid is unstable. In second step, HBrO will be broken into HBr plus nascent oxygen. Now you add these two steps. So HBr will be cancelled out. What is left? Br2 plus H2O. So HBr, 2 HBr and 1 nascent oxygen, means it is furnishing the nascent oxygen, this one, and it will oxidize only aldehyde group. You know that aldehyde group very easily oxidized. Aldehyde group can be oxidized in presence of weak oxidizing agent. So this is weak oxidizing agent. And now alcoholic group will remain intact because primary, secondary and tertiary alcoholic group, they can be oxidized in presence of strong oxidizing agent. So only CHO group will be converted into COOH. Now what is the remaining things are same only. CHOH whole 4, CH2OH. What is the name of this one? Gluconic acid. What is this one? Gluconic acid. So gluconic acid formation indicates the presence of carbonyl group in the form of CHO group. Only one thing we have to justify. And gluconic acid is the oxidation product of glucose when glucose is oxidized in presence of Br2 and aqueous Br2. Okay. So the last one, how you will justify the presence of 4 secondary alcoholic group and 1 primary alcoholic group in glucose with the reaction of HNO3. Just see, HNO3 is a strong oxidizing agent. Okay, so it can oxidize the primary alcoholic group, but it cannot oxidize the secondary alcoholic group. Okay, not only primary alcoholic group. Now if primary alcoholic group is oxidized, definitely aldehyde group can also be oxidized, because aldehyde group is better reducing agent than alcohol. So their oxidation is easy as compared to alcoholic group. But secondary alcoholic group, their oxidation is difficult. They can only be oxidized in presence of KMNO4, acidic KMNO4 or acidic potassium permanganate. So just see, this is primary alcoholic group. This will means CHO and CH2OH both will be oxidized into COOH. So just see, COOH, secondary alcoholic group, they are remain intact here. And what is the name of compound? Saccharic acid, or this is also known as glucaric acid. Okay. Now just see, another way is also there to justify the presence of 5 secondary alcoholic group and 1 primary alcoholic group. Just see, what is the name of this one? This is gluconic acid. From where you have got, when glucose was oxidized in presence of Br2 oblique H2O. Okay, then gluconic acid you have got. In gluconic acid, what was there? CHO group was oxidized. COOH group was oxidized. Am I correct or not? But just try to understand, this gluconic acid where only COOH group was oxidized, now CH2OH, that is the second, means primary alcoholic group, that will also be oxidized. Means what I want to convey you, in gluconic acid, CH2OH was not oxidized when it is glucose is subjected with Br2H2O oxidation. It was not oxidized. Only CHO group was oxidized. But when this gluconic acid is subjected for oxidation in presence of concentrated HNO3, then CH2OH is also oxidized. Means primary alcoholic group oxidized into COOH. Now what you have got? Saccharic acid only. This product only. Okay. So what does it indicate? It indicates the presence of 1 primary alcoholic group and remaining OH groups are secondary alcoholic group. HNO3 cannot oxidize the secondary alcoholic group. That is why in saccharic acid, CHOH whole 4 remains as such. Okay. In this way, all the characteristics of structure of glucose we have justified with the help of chemical reaction. Now ultimately in NCERT book they have given Fisher projection formula. What is that one? Fisher projection formula. This is, now try to understand, almost carbohydrates, proteins, amino acid, their molecular formula is found in 3D form. 3D form. In the nature, organic compounds, especially carbohydrate and proteins, they are found in 3D form. Okay, and 3D formula, you know that it is difficult to represent on the paper. So Fisher projection formula, that is one attempt to represent the three-dimensional structure of organic molecules on paper in 2D form. In 2D form, two-dimensional form. Are you getting my point or not? Representation of three-dimensional formula of organic compound on paper in 2D form, that is known as Fisher projection formula. Fisher is the name of scientist. Okay, so representation of 3D formula in 2D form on paper without disturbing the configuration of atoms or groups of atom at chiral carbon atom. So this is glucose. In glucose, what is there? What is the structure? You know, CHO, CHOH. So in Fisher projection formula, what is there? Carbon-carbon bond, only first and last carbon bond is shown. Okay, now see this one. And the rest other bond is not, other carbon-carbon bond is not shown here. Okay, you can check here. Not only this one, this is glucose. In gluconic acid also, in gluconic acid everything is same, only COOH, means in place of CHO, COOH group has come. In saccharic acid, first COOH group, last COOH group, and in between CHOH. So here also just see the first and last carbon bond vertically is shown, and horizontally also what is there? CC bond is not there, only HOH, and these intersection indicate the carbon. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Here also 1 2 3 4 5 6. Correct? Just see here horizontally CHOH, CC bond is not shown. That's all. That is Fisher projection formula, except first and last carbon atom. Okay, saccharic acid case also, just see this one. Okay, in this way this is completely completed. Now this structure of glucose is known as open chain structure of glucose. Okay, what is this one? Open chain structure of glucose. In this structure there is some problem. What are those problems? We'll discuss tomorrow. That is why another structure of glucose is proposed. That is the cyclic structure of glucose. In open chain structure of glucose, CHO group is free. But in cyclic structure of glucose, CHO group is not free. Okay? That is the only difference. In open chain structure, CHO group is free. In cyclic structure, CHO group is not free. Thank you.